Matt Gutman joins us live now from Tel Aviv. Matt, you are again outside IDF headquarters where there is an ongoing vigil for the hostages. What are you hearing and what are you seeing from folks there right now?
You know, this has been going on for over a week, Phil, and we see more and more people. And I think the recovery of those two hostages, the Ra'anan women, Judith and Natalie, yesterday changed things. It gave people a sense of hope. A sense that it's not completely desperate. I want you to see what's going on here. They're giving out yellow ribbons to everybody to wear. I'm okay. I won't take one right now. Thank you so much. I'll take one for later, though. Thank you. And people are starting. They're just here in this virtually silent protest. They closed Shabbat a few minutes ago, and we'll walk down here to show you. And it's pretty much a silent protest here. They're not shouting. They're not chanting against Netanyahu or the government. They're basically just begging people to remember the faces. And by now, even though there are well over 200 hostages who've been taken, Phil, we've come to recognize people like Leary. I know who her mother is, who her grandmother is, because these people are out here every day with those pictures. We know the images of the other people, Idan, and there's that wall over there that is completely plastered with all those names. I want to show you through here, if they'll let me, excuse me. They've been playing music here. There were guitarists, excuse me, earlier. Now they're playing Hine Matovu Manayim. It's a Jewish song. A very somber mood here, despite the fact that there are hundreds of people. There's food back there. The major concern here is that time is running out. They do have hope because Hamas has proven now that it is willing to release hostages. But they also know that Israel's about to launch this incursion. And from the sources I've been talking to, it appears that this is going to be a very long war. They're talking about a month of the initial war, 2 to 3 months of cleanup, basically constantly going in and launching operations in the Gaza Strip, and then an indefinite possible takeover of the Gaza Strip to rehabilitate it. That might mean an Israeli occupation of the Gaza Strip. So they're digging in for a very, very long experience. It is terrifying for these families because many of them believe that if Israel does launch a full-scale incursion into the Gaza Strip, Hamas might end up killing some of the hostages, or Israel might inadvertently, especially since many of those hostages, we understand from U.S. sources, are being hidden in those tunnels beneath Gaza, which are inaccessible to Israeli soldiers. Israel says that if it gets to those tunnels, they'll go in there, they'll destroy them. That's the major fear here. So there's this combination of both hope and significant fear that they are being forgotten. Last thing, Israel has been saying publicly, which is incredibly unusual, that the first and last priority for the state is the destruction of Hamas. Only then come the hostages. That may give you a sense of why people are so concerned here, Phil.
Yeah, and Matt, let's talk a little bit more about that. Do you know anything about the ongoing negotiations to free more hostages? It's difficult when you're dealing with a terror group, but there was some hope, as you said.
There are ongoing, there are ongoing back-channel communications. It's okay. Between Hamas and Israeli officials and people who are not officially with the government. That is constant. They're also dealing with other actors in the Gaza Strip, non-governmental people. So this is constantly percolating. There are some pretty elemental questions, though, that are going on as well. The definition of who a civilian is, the definition of what a ceasefire is. Is a ceasefire temporary? Is that only for the hostages to be exchanged and maybe for Israeli prisoners, or is that a long-term ceasefire? Both sides have very different definitions of those, and I think it was pretty surprising for most people that the Ra'anans were freed yesterday. It's unclear if we're going to see any more release of hostages, and Hamas did say last week that they would be willing to release women and children who are not Israeli nationals. They have proven that, but the question is, are more coming, and at what stage are these negotiations at this point?
Matt, I saw you reporting in Ramallah on the West Bank. What is it like for journalists who are trying to get into Gaza to cover what's happening there right now?
For journalists, getting into Gaza is impossible right now. Israel has this complete cordon on the Gaza Strip. There is a buffer area, obviously the fence. It is massively secured. We can't even get anywhere near the border with Gaza at this point. Very difficult to get in through Egypt. That's the Rafah crossing, which that part of the Sinai Peninsula in the Egyptian side is basically a closed military zone. So it's nearly impossible to get in. And as we know, the border has been closed. That's why it was such a big deal to get those 20 aid trucks in. That is one of the major obstacles and challenges in our job right now, is to report what's going on both sides without actually being able to go to that side in Gaza. Phil.
All right. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman from Tel Aviv. Matt, thank you as always.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.